Thank you guys for joining us from Maine and Gervais. I'm Kimberly Davis, and I have a husband and wife duo. They're the owners of Personality Studios here in Columbia. Kevin, Rev Kev, yes. Quattlebaum. How are you, Rev Kev? I'm great. And Lady K, Chrissy Quattlebaum. They are here today. They're going to share with us some hair tips, some makeup tips, because I need something done with these ends of mine. And so I had to call in the crew, the only crew that I trust, to be able to get it done. Now, you guys are not only married, but you're entrepreneurs, business owners, and parents. How do y'all make all of that work? It's a hump day. It's a Wednesday. So what was it like in the Quattlebaum's house this morning getting the kids up and ready?
Jesus, okay? That's what we're going to say. Jesus covers us. I promise you.
Yes.
But honestly, like, we've been doing it so long that it's just, you know, second nature. You go with the flow. You let the Lord lead the way, and we just go with it. So.
And you guys have not only done regular folk like myself, but you guys are also highly sought after celebrity hair and makeup artists. How does that feel to be able to add that to your resume and know that just a few years ago, only 2 years ago, they were students at South Carolina State University? How does that feel?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing, honestly. Because I've always looked forward to doing it, but to actually be living in it is like amazing. And it's all, I would say, just God promises to us. Like He's already said it, like that we were gonna do it, and so to see it like actually happen is like incredible.
Yeah. And if someone wants to get in contact with you guys, because I've gone to styleseat.com, they're pretty much always booked, you guys. So if you don't have the inside connection or book months in advance, you won't be able to get them. But how can they reach you? How can they follow you guys on social media before we get started?
Okay, so I'm Rev Kev 223, and my wife is Lady K 129.
And is that on both Instagram,
That's
Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter?
And Facebook is Kevin Quattlebaum and
Christy Quattlebaum.
And Christy Quattlebaum.
Kristy. And then our salon page, you can actually go and like it. It's Personality's Hair Studio. And if you want to email us for booking information regarding weddings or special events, it's personalitieshairstudio@gmail.com.
So we're going to get started, and we'll see you back in a moment.
Thanks for making us Columbia's fastest growing morning news.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here at Maine and Gervais. And again, joining me is Christy Lady K Quattlebaum. And this is our AP for the morning show, Sierra. And if you don't see Sierra, that's because she's behind the scenes. But today she's in front of the camera. And Lady K, you're going to give us some makeup tips. So I'll let you take over the floor.
All right. So 2019, the new year has just started. What are we going to do to make sure that we are enhanced, that we are beautiful, and that we feel good about ourselves? So Sierra has a beautiful, fresh face.
She does.
So my first makeup tip actually has nothing to do with makeup.
Wow. Okay.
It's all about skincare. And Sierra is a perfect example of drinking a lot of water and taking care of your skin will give you this beautiful canvas. And this type of canvas is easy for us makeup artists to work with, as well as when you're putting on makeup at home.
Good job, Sierra.
Yes, Sierra's thebomb.com. And also Sierra has amazingly shaped brows. And so when it comes to brows, we want to make sure that our brows don't look like they're painted on.
Okay.
And so that's why I wanted to really demonstrate and show her eyebrows without any filling in.
Okay.
So when we do fill in, we really just go in, fill in the hairs that may be missing, or just to give it a little bit of fullness. We don't want to make it look like it's stamped on or put on with a Sharpie.
Okay.
None of that. And so
no Sharpie eyebrows in 2019.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So even when we want to define the eyebrows like mine are defined, we use concealer.
Okay.
But we use 2 different shades of concealer.
Okay.
So on the bottom, we would use one that's 2 shades lighter than her complexion. And then on the top, we want to use a concealer that's the same shade as her complexion.
Okay.
So that way, when we blend in the foundation, it blends and it does not look like halo eyebrows.
Right. We've seen a lot of those.
Yes. And in 2019, dewy, very fresh face is in. So my slogan for 2019 is less is more.
Okay.
So making sure that you're taking care of your skin, drinking water, and loving on your skin. Anastasia Beverly Hills has created this amazing glow kit.
Okay.
So if you don't have time in the morning to put on a full face, you can put on some concealer, maybe a little foundation, and then just hit your face in the high points with this highlighter.
Okay.
So with highlighter, we definitely want to make sure that we put it on the top of the cheekbone. So we put it on the top of the cheekbone, down the center of the nose, maybe a little on the forehead and on the chin. And this will give us a very dewy and glowy look for 2019.
Now, what about people that kind of get heavy with the glow?
Well, we don't want to get too heavy. We want to make sure that it's just enough to give us a nice glow, but not to look too bronzy
and glowing like in the dark.
Tin Man. Yeah, you don't want to glow
in the dark.
That's
is a no-no. What else do you have for us?
So I also have a primer.
Okay.
Because before we do anything, we want to make sure that we moisturize our face and that we prime our face.
Okay.
So this right here is actually a Becca Pore Perfecting Primer.
Okay.
So have you ever seen people and their pores may seem a little large? We want to make sure that we can minimize those while also coating the skin before we apply foundation.
Absolutely.
So this right here is amazing to put all over your face. So you want to not just put this in your T-zone, but everywhere where you're going to place foundation, you want to use this.
Okay.
Now after we've done our whole face, we've done our foundation, our concealers, our glow, everything, you want to make sure that it stays. Because if you're halfway through the day and you're like, my makeup's not there anymore, what do I do?
Right.
Then of course we have a setting spray. So after you're done, you would spray your entire face with this setting spray. This is Urban Decay, and it's actually called All Nighter. Okay. And the reason it's called All Nighter is because it literally keeps your makeup on
all night. Yeah.
All night.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
So this right here is by Urban Decay, All Nighter, and it is amazing. There are tons of setting sprays. Just make sure that you have a good primer and a good setting spray, and you're good to go.
Any questions that you have for Lady K, Sierra? Because when you come in sometimes, I guess, what is it saying? Your face is beat?
Yes.
Beat your face or something like that?
Beats her face.
Beats her face.
I know for me, what I've noticed is a lot of people are going a lot lighter with the brow color. Me, myself, I use like a dark brown, but not like black.
Never use black.
But I've
use
noticed
black.
that people are using like almost like this auburn color, and I've been trying to find it and I can't.
So let me tell you what a lot of people are doing. They're actually using the pencil that's brown, but then they're using a brow set from MAC. It's actually called Girl Boy.
Okay.
And you put it over your brows and it lightens them up. So
Girl Boy like Bird Box. No.
Okay.
Girl Boy.
Girl Boy, there you go.
That's a whole nother segment.
Right.
A whole nother segment.
But yeah, that will actually change the color of your brows. And so, as a matter of fact, nobody should ever use black. I don't care if your hair is jet black, you still want to use a dark brown because that jet black will make your face a little too harsh.
Okay.
And then if you want to continue to lighten them up, then Girl Boy is the way.
Now, Sierra, she's a student at USC, go Gamecocks, so we have to let her go, but give us 3 quick makeup tips, do's and don'ts. And I want you to include lashes in one of those 3 tips that you're about to give us.
Okay, so my number 1 don't is to make sure that when you're applying eyeshadow, that we don't go all the way up to the eyebrow.
Okay.
We want to make sure that where the crease is, right here, you're going to have a transition color, which will be kind of like the color of your skin. And anything below this can be color. You can have fun with it. However, no eyeshadow should go up to your eyebrow. Okay. The second thing when it comes to lashes, again, less is more. We don't want to look like we're about to take flight. We don't want to look like a bat.
Right.
So you want to make sure that it's very nice, classy, and chic. And then my third don't is making sure that you don't wear the wrong color foundation. So make sure that you go seek a professional before you decide to purchase a foundation.
What is something that you see, especially with lip liner in women? Black lip, do they still do black lip liner?
People do still do that.
Please don't do that.
Yeah,
I didn't know people,
They do that. Making sure that you do not ever.
One more time.
Do not use black lip liner and a lip gloss or black lip liner and a red lip. No black lip liner. So somebody asked me one time, well, if we're not supposed to use it, why do they sell it? Well, they sell it for things like fashion shows and high fashion. But just for the everyday woman, you're going to work, you're going to church. Say no. So black lip liner. So it is important to line your lips because that gives definition to your lips. I love Chestnut from MAC. It's a beautiful liner that will make every color pop. Even if you just want to, like today, all I have on is a Chestnut liner and Fenty Gloss Bomb lip gloss. And so it gives definition and it gives a pop to your lips.
And it's every day look you have.
Absolutely.
No Sharpie eyebrows, no black lined lips, and we want to make sure we have that glow,
but not glowing in the dark.
But not glowing in the dark for 2019. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Midland's fastest growing news, ABC Columbia News.
Welcome back. We're at the corner of Main and Gervais. And if you're wondering who this man is playing behind me in my hair, trust me, his wife Christy is over there. She's supervising and he has permission to do whatever it is that he wants to my hair, because in 2019, I want a spicy look. I want to spice it up a little bit. Now, Kevin, we had our introductions earlier, but tell us some of the things that women are doing wrong with their hair. And please, you can use mine, but just don't call me out too bad, because I have split ends in the back. Okay. So let's start with these split ends and why it's important to keep your ends trimmed.
Okay, it's super important to keep your ends trimmed, because what can happen is it can be more detrimental to your entire head of hair. Like literally, it'll start like small at the ends, but what'll happen is it'll actually split up. Okay,
like mine.
We don't want that. Right? We don't want that. And right before we came back, like I was literally asking her, how much can I cut? But the greatest way to see how much to cut is to put like a white sheet of paper. You can even use a white towel. Okay, either will be fine. But what you want to do is just look and see how thin that hair actually is, and whatever you can see directly through, like we want that on the floor.
Right.
Okay. So
let's
stop taking that. We're going to leave that in 2018.
Right. Okay.
We're not going to take that into 2019.
No more in 2019.
Absolutely. And so if you follow me, I'm going to begin trimming where it needs to be trimmed, and you are going to see a total difference. What I'm going to do is notch the hair instead of like actually blunt cutting, like chopping it. Okay. Because we still want it to be natural. We want a natural fall, and that's going to actually assist in like movement. Okay, so we want to make sure that we maintain movement as well. We don't want any stiff hair.
Okay. Now, I do see some women with stiff hair, so even if they don't have a unit on or a half, the wind is blowing, but their hair is not.
Okay.
So we don't want any of that in 2019.
Yes, and I think that's also what contributes to that is oils and heavy greases. We want the hair hydrated, but we definitely don't want it greasy.
So when you're in your salon, Personalities Hair Studio, a lot of women come in, but it's almost therapeutic for them, wouldn't you say, coming to get their hair done?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I know everyone's business.
Everyone has a story.
Seriously, yes, absolutely. But I love it, honestly, because that's what it's all about, honestly. I really say it is more about ministry than hair. How
intrigued are they with mommy and daddy when people are constantly pulling on you guys to do hair and makeup, but they're like, that's just my mom and dad?
Right. No, I think they're really, really excited, and the kids are literally like chasing them down at school.
Really?
Because, especially when we did Cardi B, they're like, your mom and daddy did
Cardi B's hair?
Like, she breathed on them.
I'm with Kevin Quattlebaum, Rev Kev. Now, you were asking me earlier about whether or not I had a hot iron. Talk about hot irons for women of color and also other women, and sometimes they can set the setting a little bit too high on.
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So 450 is normally like the highest. Honestly, I use 450.
Okay.
But the catch is you don't want to continuously run over their hair time and time again. Like I've literally seen people run over it like 7 times. Like that's completely ridiculous. I actually go down the hair strand 1 time. Okay. The hair shaft 1 time. But it's slow and steady. Okay. So slow and steady wins the race. You want to make sure that you're finding some great hydrating products. So not only moisture, but you want to make sure your hair is hydrated, okay? You also want to use detoxing products. Heard a lot about Main Choice. That's a really great product, especially for natural hair, and it's not too heavy. So that's something that you want to use to hydrate that hair. So, man, you can definitely tell the difference with her hair.
And we have Matt, our photographer, in the back. We got 2 cameras going on for you guys, so you can see exactly what Kevin is doing. I told him earlier that I hope nothing jumps out of my hair at him, because I am always on the go. And so for a lot of women, especially in broadcast media, they're used to having to put additions to their hair, if you will. So Kevin, talk about how important it is to have a good addition to your hair and also maintaining that as well.
Absolutely. So I always tell people, they always ask, like, everyone loves sew-ins, right? But how long should we actually keep a sew-in in? Like a month is a good amount of time for a sew-in. I've known people to keep their hair in for maybe like 3 to 5 months.
Okay, that's a long time.
Really, really really too much for your hair, okay? And it can be damaging. And it also contributes to split ends, whether we know it or not.
Okay, okay. Now, you're cutting my hair is a term dry, is that the correct term?
Yes,
Okay, but how do you traditionally trim a woman's ends?
Actually, I actually prefer to cut her hair dry,
Oh, okay.
especially if she has curly hair. So
Okay.
your hair would be curlier if it was wet, right?
Right, right.
Okay, so you wouldn't really see the most accurate projection.
Okay, okay.
So when it's dry, you can actually see much better what needs to go.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
And what days of the week is the studio open?
Okay, so we actually go in on Tuesday. Monday is our day to relax, stay home, and kind of get ourselves back together, okay? And I need that energy like that. I need it.
Right,
it's
right.
necessary.
It's important. It's
so we're
important.
actually in the shop from Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay, and how can people find you for special events? If Cardi B is in town, you of course you and your wife's schedule will be very different.
Yes.
So do you guys have help? You have a glam squad team that kind of helps you out?
Absolutely. So most people know like that you can't do it alone. Okay, so we definitely have a group of people that we call on who are as great as we are. You know, and so we actually love working with them.
Good, good. Christy, how's your husband doing? Is he doing good?
Absolutely.
And he does your hair, I'm sure, right?
Of course.
So tell us about Rev, Kev, and Lady K, how the names came to be. Because I know you said that what you guys do is a ministry. So does that play a part in the names? Rev, Kev?
Absolutely. So when I was in school, I
felt hair falling, you guys.
So when I was in school, I was actually responsible for like the religious events, if you will.
Yeah.
Campus activities board. And so I was always, and I love church, I love God. So everybody would always call me Rev. And I actually thought about Reverend Run. And I just put together Rev Kev, and like literally that's been like an amazing tag.
Yeah, it's stuck with you. I think it's a good fit. Good fit, you guys. What is some of the requests that you get from women or men in relation to what they're kind of looking for in terms of their hair? Do they come in and say, take it all off, or I want color? What's one of your big requests?
So color is definitely in.
Then did you notice at 38 years old, I have a few grays in my hair.
38.
38. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Seriously.
Thank you. May 2nd, I'll be 39. Just in case anybody wanted to get any birthday gifts, you got a few months to get that in there. Right. But so as far as gray, I saw this trend with women that wanted gray hair. Do you get that?
Absolutely. They've learned to actually embrace that. Okay, because for the longest, it was like. No.
Women were scared of gray hair.
Throw it away.
Right.
But now it's like we're actually embracing it. And it's become trendy.
Give the women and men that are watching 3 do's and don'ts when looking for a hairstylist.
3 things that you want to look for is someone who is constantly informing you about healthy hair tips. Another thing that you want to know is someone who is conscious of healthy hair coloring, okay? Because everyone can't color, okay? The third thing is someone who definitely isn't afraid to cut or change your hair.
We appreciate you so much for joining us today. We wanted to give you hair and makeup tips that you could take into 2019 so that you can look your best when you're walking inside of the boardroom, when you're walking inside of the studio, when you're walking home to your husband or to your wife. We want you to look and to be your best. Thank you so much for joining us, Rev Kev and Lady K, and thank you guys so much for watching.